In this video, we will show you how to file a beer and wine importer tax return. We protect all the confidential information you provide to us. First, go to the website, cdtfa.ca.gov, and at the top, click on Login. That will take you to the CDTFA's Online Services Login page. You must log in with a username and password. If you do not have a username and password and need assistance, please watch our tutorials online. On the CDTFA Online Services Login page, we will enter our username and password and then click Login. On the Online Services Profile page under the Accounts tab, we will click on the Beer and Wine Importer hyperlink. This will take us to the Beer and Wine Importer account page. Under the Periods tab, click on the return period for which you would like to file. In our example, we will file for the third quarter 2019 period, which is displayed by its returned end date of September 30th, 2019. On the Initial Questions page, if you have imports to report that are not reported on another beer manufacturer or wine grower report, you can enter them here. In our example, we will select yes that we have imported beer and/or wine into California, and another question will populate providing an option to manually enter the schedule or upload an Excel workbook. We will select Manually and click Next. This will take us to the Beer and Wine Imported into California page. To get started, we will click on Add a Record. A box will pop up and we must enter all the required information to proceed. After entering all the information, we will click on Add. The information we just entered will populate in the table. We can verify the name of the common carrier and the associated gallons reported. To delete a record, we can click on the X. To edit a row, click on the pencil and pad icon. To add an additional record, click on the Add a Record link. Once we have added all of our imports, we will proceed by clicking Next. This will take us to the beer page. The beer imports from your CDTFA 269BW are listed in the transactions. You can claim any beer-related exemptions from tax under Exemptions. In this example, we will report exports from California of 50 gallons and spoiled beer of 40 gallons. Pre-authorization is required for destruction of spoiled beer or wine pursuant to Alcohol Beverage Tax Regulation 2552. Click Next. This next slide shows your transactions for wine not over 14%. Here you can report any applicable exemptions for this category. In this example, we will report no exemptions and click Next. This next slide shows your transactions for wine over 14% and hard cider. Here you can report any applicable exemptions for this category. In this example, we will report no exemptions and click Next. This next slide shows your transactions for sparkling wine. Here you can report any applicable exemptions for this category. In this example, we will report no exemptions and click Next. On the Attachments page, additional information is required if spoiled alcohol or other exemptions were reported. In our example, we reported 40 gallons of spoiled beer, and we need to add the authorization of destruction of beer and wine. To upload this information, we will click on Add and use the drop-down menu to select the attachment type. Add a description of the file. Use the Choose File button to navigate to your file, then click Save. To add additional documents, click Add. If you have no further attachments, click Next to continue. Review the Summary page. The Summary page gives you a summary of the tax for each alcohol category and a total of tax due or refund claimed. If you need to make an adjustment, click Previous. To print a draft of your return prior to submission, click on the Save Draft button below. If the information displayed on the page is correct, click Next. Enter your required information and click Submit. When you click Submit, a window will appear to confirm your intent to file electronically and that your return is true, correct, and complete. Please read the information carefully. Enter your password and click OK to submit. This will serve as your authorization and confirmation. You will not receive a confirmation email. This confirmation page represents a return filing only. Please take note of your confirmation number and the total amount due. We recommend that you print this page for future reference. To make an electronic payment, click on the Make a Payment button. To print your submitted return, click on the Print Return button. If you still have questions, please call our Customer Service Center at 1-800-400-7115, California Relay Service at 711.